Hey, it's your close personal friend, Lou Brutus here. And we here at HardDrive and HardDrive XL have put something special together for National Prevention Week. It's a series of interview clips from three of our rock star friends who have had substance abuse problems, but who are all brave enough to go and get help with it to rise above. So first you're going to see Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue, then Dorothy, then Head from Korn, all talking about getting help for this National Prevention Week. Check it out.
After I got sober and I did the heroin diaries and really got into recovery and started becoming, part of a community and giving back, I believe you need to give back more than you take. So the more you get, the more you got to give back. That's a pretty cool concept. And before it was 6 a.m., it was James Michael, DJ Ashman, Nikki Sixx, friends that wrote together and did stuff. And when the manuscript was done with the heroin diaries, I called them up and said, what do you think of this idea about doing a soundtrack to a book? They're like, wow, that's really interesting. So I sent them the book, they read it, and they were in. So we started writing songs. Life is Beautiful was one of the first songs we wrote. And then it just started unraveling, and it started kind of following the book. And there's very cohesiveness to it. It went from being a couple songs in the back of the book and a DVD or a CD to actually being a full-length thing. Then we had to come up with the band name, and then Life is Beautiful became a #1 track. And a lot of people were turned on to recovery, and an understanding of addiction through that. So that was an exciting process.
Was there an epiphany moment at some time early on in your life? For some folks, they have a high school band or they take part in high school musicals and they kind of figure, oh, wait a minute, I can actually like do this for real. Did you have that moment maybe in your teens or 20s?
I kind of wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life for a very long time. And it took me to my mid 20s to figure that out. And I had gone through plenty of pain and suffering in many ways. And I think like the nail in the coffin on that was my stepfather had passed away from lung cancer. My boyfriend had broken up with me, kicked me out of the house. I had to go get my things, and and move back home. And I didn't have a job, and I didn't know what the hell was going on and what I was going to do. And that was the catalyst for me getting signed. That was the catalyst. Like I just happened, and I don't think anything happens, by accident. I really don't. And I came across like a sheet of paper. I was grieving. I was all messed up. I was drinking a bottle of tequila a day. It was crazy. And
That's not good.
and I was writing songs on my guitar and like drinking like this shitty tequila from the grocery store. Uh at least half of it. It was a big one. So I was pretty messed up for at least a few weeks there. And I came across a sheet of paper with music industry contacts on it, and it said like Interscope Records, George Robertson. And I cold texted all these A&Rs and people, and George is the only one that responded. And I was like, I want to make music. I want to make music. He's like, can you sing? I'm like, yeah, I can sing. And then I like sent him some shitty demo. And fast forward, he put me in the studio with Mark and Ian, and we started writing songs for Rock is Dead, and eventually I got signed to Rock Nation. It was like boom, 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 boom. And yeah, in my mid 20s, never thought I'd be fronting a rock band, and here we are.
If you put that into a movie, people would go, what a bunch of bullshit. That it never works that way. And yet
It
sometimes it
did.
does.
It did, but it took so much, you know, pushing through so much fear and insecurity, and like not knowing what you want to do with your life, and kind of like just floating around on the fringes of society for a decade. Like that's no way to live your life. And enter drugs and alcohol, like insert drugs and alcohol here to fill that I don't know what I'm doing and I'm scared hole, in my soul. And I and then once I got a taste of playing with a band, it was over. I fell in love. I'm like, this is what I was put on this planet to do. I don't have a plan B. I will never have a plan B. We're going. Let's go. And that's just, it's taken off from there. And I'm like, now I love having these discussions because it gives me a deep appreciation and gratitude for all the shit I went through and also like how I ended up here. And that's why I tell people not to give up. Don't give up.
If I may ask, do you still imbibe with anything that alters your consciousness?
No. I practice a 12-step recovery program. I've had a ton of relapses. I've gone to rehab twice. I've been to detox in hospitals. I was suicidal. I mean, it was nuts. It was crazy. And but eventually, you know, I started hearing the things I needed to hear, and I can't live that way anymore. I just can't. And I try to do things different now. The pain comes up, the triggers happen, you know, the stuff, all that stuff happens. It's just dealing with a different way. And there's been a lot of growth. I'm not there yet. There's a long way to go, but it's been a beautiful journey.
I will not stop talking about my past because I really am two people. When I think about my life on this planet, I was two people. I was this one person that needed substance, that needed the mask, that needed to medicate in order to feel something more than I was, you know? It's like I wasn't comfortable in my own skin to go out and get drunk or to do drugs, you know? I needed that to because I didn't like myself. There's a root of self-hatred that started small but grew as I got older. And so that was the first version of me. And the second version is this man that I can look in the mirror and be like, I love you and I'm proud of you. And, you know, just to put the selfish things aside and to go out and to use my platform and to use all my blessings to better the world, you know, to help people. And so that's why I share it all the time, because anybody watching could do the same thing. It's like if you struggle, then that's the old egoic self that you need to put down in the ground, and he needs to die or she needs to die. And this new person needs to raise up. And if I can do it with drugs surrounded, you know, anything I want in this industry, you know, it's a lot more tame in where, you know, in the rock world nowadays than it used to be, but still I could get anything I wanted like that. And if I can do it, anybody out there can do it. I mean, that's the message I want to give to people. If this rock and roll dude that has money at his fingertips and drug dealers everywhere, if he can stay sober and have the best life, I'm not boring, by the way. I have the most exhilarating life sober, and I wake up feeling good. If I can do it, then any of you can.